Hi guys, Miss Crystal here. I'm just going to give you a little video of plant science. Before we left, we were starting the plant science unit in our science class. And it's so perfect because, as you guys know, I have a lot of plants at home. It's no problem for me to make little videos and teach you what I can from here in my indoor garden. So that's what I'm going to do. Today's tiny little video. There's no project or anything, nothing that you need to do. I'm just sharing information, just teaching. So I'm going to teach you in this first video about carnivorous plants. Carnivorous plants are plants that eat insects. So I have some of them in my terrarium. I'm going to show you my terrarium. One second. This is my beautiful terrarium. A terrarium is a glass space that holds plants. Now mine is a semi-open terrarium. There's no lid, but sometimes they have lids. But even just having the walls glass on all four sides, even with it open, holds a lot of humidity, which is really good for some plants. Some plants need more humidity than others. I have a lot of ferns in here, and they really need the humidity, and so do carnivorous plants, which is this little guy and this little guy there. The carnivorous plants that I have, let me get a little closer to show them to you better. This is one. Maybe you can see the insects that are attached to the little red hairs. This one is called a sundew. It releases digestive fluids onto the little red hairs that you can see. And those digestive fluids, when they're all on the tips of all the red hairs, they can look like morning dew on the grass. You've probably seen that before. And that's where the name came from. That's why they're called sundews. And they don't curl up. They don't swallow the insects like you might imagine. They literally just slowly digest them. The insects die before they start getting digested. Don't worry. Um, but very slowly, these insects that you see on the red hairs will be dissolved and absorbed. Same with on my other one, which is called a butterwort. I hope you can see it there. I'm going to take it out and show you a little detail. You'll probably hear or see water. Can you see that it was in a cup of water? So the carnivorous plants that I have require a little cup of water to live in because they're semi-aquatic plants. They live in swamps and bogs. And maybe you can see some of the bugs on the leaves. It's similar to the sundews. The butterworts also release a digestive liquid on their petals or leaves. Not petals, sorry, leaves. And they just slowly dissolve the insects. Yeah, that's it. That's it for them. That's how they eat bugs. I'll put them back in the little cup. There we go. So, there's another one in the back corner. Maybe you can see it. That one is also a sundew. They all have lots of little flies on them. The terrarium naturally attracts little flies because of the humidity and because of the moss at the bottom. There's no dirt in my terrarium. There's just what's called sphagnum moss. Sphagnum moss is a great way to keep humidity bog loving plants like ferns. So as you can see here, I'll show you here. I think you can see there's little clay balls and all sphagnum moss here. No dirt. And that attracts flies because flies like humid conditions, which is perfect for the carnivorous plants. They get their feedings. So why do carnivorous plants eat bugs and not other plants? The reason is that their environment where they typically grow doesn't have enough nitrogen. Now, when the plants adapted to become carnivorous, they did so to survive weak conditions that they lived in. They weren't getting the nitrogen they needed, and they adapted. They started eating insects to get that nitrogen. It's really amazing how living things, and yes, plants are living things, living things are always adapting to challenges. And I think it's a perfect metaphor for what's going on right now in our lives. Um, we're all dealing with challenges right now. We have new situations we have to deal with. We have to make new patterns in our days. We need to find new ways to be happy and healthy. And we're doing it. We're going to be okay. Our days are going to look different. Our lives are going to look different for a little while. But just like the carnivorous plants who didn't have the nitrogen they needed and they had to adapt, we're adapting. They found new ways and we're finding new ways. We're going to be fine. We're going to be great. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, that's all. Okay, bye.